So, some are wondering what could be going on today on June 19, 2023, Monday. And today, I thought I would explain this here box, this what I label as the towing kit, that in some videos of my truck, you'll see it right in this very corner here. See, it's on the right rear corner of the truck. Look how nicely it fits too. Here's a close-up of it now. As you know, this is my half-inch piece of plywood that I use to protect my gooseneck prep package, my fifth wheel gooseneck prep package. I meant to leave a little piece of wood here, but I accidentally cut it off. But you see, I had it notched out too, so that way like this toolbox wouldn't slide all over the place. Here's a close-up of the box with some info. Now, I looked up this SKU number right here. From what I can tell, it's been discontinued, this box. This is a 22-inch box. However, as far as Husky goes, I looked and I looked. They now have a 24-inch box. Looks very much like this, but just a couple inches longer. And I'm going to say that that's probably the successor to this model here. So I left a link in the description. It's actually the very last link in the description. Now, before I start going over the contents in this box here, there's going to be mentions of a lot of vendors, a lot of brands. I want to clarify right now before they go any further, I'm not being paid or endorsed by any of these brands. I'm not trying to endorse them, okay? I'm just mentioning what I have, who I use, and that's it. And please don't start any brand wars in the comments section. I don't care. I have brand loyalty to nothing anymore these days because any brand can change for the better or for the worse at any given moment. This is true of anything, any tool, not just these towing and recovery tools I'm about to show you, but anything in general. You know what? The best tool is the one that makes you happy and gets the job done for you. That's my stance. Okay, so all of that out of the way, this is some of the contents that I have in my towing kit. This hitch, and the proper name for these two is called a Hitch Receiver Shackle Mount. Now, I'm not going to keep a spare one of these in here because that's just too big and heavy, but this is what I have in my receiver all the time. And the reason I'm making this video today, and I'm mentioning these, is because of the previous video where I was pulling rocks out with my truck. And you might have noticed that I did not use the ball hitch of any kind, and that's actually dangerous. And it's a true story that someone actually got killed that way. The guy's name was Ryan Woods. Those are actually the very first links in the description of this video. I have links to those articles and one video about Ryan Woods and how he got killed that way. So in a matter of speaking, this video is a bit of a PSA too, if you will. I will mention these Hitch Receiver Shackle Mounts first because I feel they're very important if you're going to try to pull someone out or try to recover someone else. So let's say they happen to have a receiver themselves. You're not pulling by their trailer hitch. You know, I could grab this here, put that in their receiver if I have to. And same here as well. Check this out. Yes, they're a bit hard to find. You can get these for 1.25 inches. But remember, many of these 1.25 inches are just a class 1 hitch, so be wary of that. I mean, they'll still be safer than trying to pull by a hitch, let's say. This I got from Amazon. Now, as of right now, they're not in stock in Amazon, but E-Trailer carries something very similar. And I have the links. I have both links to one of these in the description. And over here, this actually I got from Home Depot. This 2-inch one. And I even have the Home Depot SKU number right here so you can get one of your very own. Now, the Class 2, 2-inch receiver and up, they're going to take a 5/8 inch pin, which I also have a link in the description. These 1.25 inches are going to take a 1/2 inch. And another thing I want to show here, this is called a groove style. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up here. And what's nice is you're not confined to just one spot. You can go anywhere you want. See, I barely use this. This is a, see? You can turn this as you wish. This is a must-have because like I have this on my front receiver, but it's very close to the back of it, so this pin here will hit the hitch. So I'm able to turn this any way I want. This is called a groove style. So again, 1/2 inch for the 1 1/4, 5/8 for the 2 inch, or even my 2 1/2 inch. And there's links in the description to all of these if you want to have one of your very own. And the one final thing I want to say about any of these hitch receiver mounts, regardless of which one you're going to get, just choose them with the utmost care. Now, one thing you'll see that all of these have in common, look how it's all solid steel. That's why I took the time to recommend the particular ones that I use. See, all solid. There's itty bitty links in a quarter. All solid. Now, why do I mention this? There are some cheap-ass ones where it's just this hollow square tube, almost like what they'd use for a trailer hitch. And then they weld this flange to hold the shackle. That's not good. That's not going to be strong, and more importantly, be no safer than pulling it by a hitch. So, like I said, I'm not saying use these particular ones, but whatever one tickles your fancy, whatever one you want to use, just make note of that. So, again, the whole idea is to be able to pull a vehicle safely. So you want a good quality one, and just make sure you choose it with the utmost care.
And something I should have said before, let me clarify this now. I know you kept hearing me say, pull it by the hitch. What I really meant to say was pull it by the tow ball, the thing that you put in the hitch. That's what I meant, and I just wanted to clarify that now. And yes, this is about a week or so after the fact, but hey, that's the beauty of editing. You can add all the afterthoughts you want. And in that week of waiting, yes, my Oldsmobile Delta 88 shirt has arrived. Specifically the 80 to 85 Delta 88. Always wanted one of those. Now, just before I get into this box, I want to show what I have on the top cubby holes here. And I believe the successor to this model has this too. So first thing you see here, this is just a long, quick pin here. There's a built-in little cable. I forget exactly where I got this from. Probably got this from Home Depot. This is for when I put in the 2-inch Hitch Receiver Shackle Mount. And then another thing I like to keep here is just a bunch of spare clevis pins. And on this side here, all I have is just trim tools. Now, why would I need trim tools in the towing kit? Let's say I see a Subaru, or I believe certain Audis that are stuck. Certain Lexuses have them too. This will help me pop off that little plastic piece so I can get to the threaded hole that's inside the bumper. And I happen to have a spare one in here too. Now, those types of cars typically have them with their spare tire or their inflator, whatever. Some cars don't have spares anymore. These I got from Harbor Freight for dirt cheap. These are really only made by one person. These exact same ones painted in gray, or the plastic's color is actually gray. That's from Walmart. You can get these for less than $10. So that's all I have up there. And as we finally open the box here, another little tool that wouldn't hurt to have is a little wrench here. You know, so you can tighten or loosen your bow shackles here. Especially the ones that you have in your car all the time. I always give it a little when I tighten it, so that way these pins can't walk out or easily be stolen. So this is good to have. This is a little cheap ass adjustable wrench I got from AutoZone. This is the Duralast brand right here. I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick it up. This camera doesn't really like shiny things too much. And let's say I gotta leave this towing kit behind because I gotta haul a lot of stuff. My truck, as you know, has floorboard storage, so I also have another one of these in my truck. So it doesn't hurt to have a couple of these here. And then we have what I just showed here, the Hitch Receiver Shackle Mounts. There's my 2-inch and my 1 1/4 that I showed earlier in this video. And in my particular case, I carry 2 of these 12-foot Endless Slings here. So here is my 12-foot sling laid out. Here's the one to the left laid out. And here's the other one. Look, I have it threaded through that bow shackle. This is what I do to half the length. Now you could get 6-foot slings if you want.
when you take an Endless Sling and do this, this is called a basket. And what's significant about doing a basket is you double the strength, or most times it will double the strength. But this here tag tells all. This is a very important tag. It gives you all the specs on your sling and what its strengths are depending on how you use it. You see, if you use it just simply end to end, 8,400 pounds. When you do what's called a choke, that's when you put it around itself like so. It's called a choke. Yeah, you lose a little bit of strength. How much strength you lose, I can't say. But again, that's why you have this tag. And then it shows when you do a basket, you almost double the strength to 16,800 pounds. So as far as slings go, like the Hitch Receiver Shackle Mounts I showed earlier, choose them with the utmost care. And make sure you're within the weight range, especially with stuff like this. So back to my box. Underneath all these goodies here, I have a few other goodies I'm going to show in a second. Here's my 20-foot sling. This is the color it is. This is it in red. Now, I bundled this really nicely and it serves as a good base. So, I really don't want to take it out. Again, same material, different color. Imagine this in red, but about an extra 8 feet. And last but not least on the slings, yes, there's a link in the description to both these yellow 12-footers and my red 20-footer. They have their own links and they don't, but whether you go for these ones here or the 20-footer, what you ultimately end up at on Amazon is a page that gives you an option of various lengths and colors, and certain lengths can't come in certain colors. That's all figured out. So that's where I got these slings, and that's just something worth noting in terms of purchasing them on Amazon. So the next thing I want to show, and yes, you saw these in action in the video where I pulled the rock out. These are my tow hooks, which I also got from Amazon. These are the 5/16 inch with a 5,400 pound limit. Now, much like the slings, while the link in the description will take you to these particular ones, you have a whole bunch of options within that same page. Was it $20 or $10 more? I forget. The prices keep varying. You can get some 3/8 ones with a 7,800 pound capacity. The one thing that I did differently to modify them, no, they don't come with this bow shackle. That's one of mine for my toe kit. It's 5/8 to be exact. I'm not sure how much bigger the links will be for the 3/8 ones, the chain links. But these are actually meant for a flatbed. So these here were actually joined together by one fat ring. I cut that ring so I could have individual hooks. Now, mind you, you can't find individual hooks on Amazon, but they were way, way, way expensive. I'm just using this for, recovery. Let's say I see someone, in a ditch or something. I'm not doing this every day for a living. So you have this nifty little hook here. So you could hook either end the way you want. Let's say you have a smaller recovery point, like on a smaller car or something. And again, here it is, all laid out. But this is the shackle that will go in here if you want to separate these hooks. And that's all I really got to show on the hooks, other than, maybe. And the final thing in this kit here that's worth babbling about is this piece here. I honestly don't know the proper name for it, but this is what I mentioned earlier, where you'd use a trim tool like this to pop open that plastic piece and get into the threaded hole. And the very, very, very important thing that I want to mention about these, this is true of any car, Subaru, Lexus, the various other products that might use these are not meant for serious recovery. Those threaded holes are like a sleeve. It's surrounded in a box. It's the sheet metal frame rail, but they're only held on by a few spot welds. You only use this if you're doing some flat towing. Let's say you're already on some nice level pavement, what have you. Not even necessarily level. You get the idea. But the car blew its motor or its transmission, you just need to get it off the road, or you have a flatbed and maybe the car is too low to the ground. Maybe there's too much ground effects and you don't want to risk scratching the other side of the spoiler with it. So you have this to stick out of the bumper. And funny enough, check that out. So that's its real purpose. These are not meant for serious recovery if, let's say, you're seriously wedged. Let's say you're embedded in a snowbank or you sunk the car in some deep mud. That's more or less it. I mean, I just got a bunch of little hooks here. The shackle. Let's see, I can put the tow hook through this if I want to, or another sling. Again, very simple sized bow shackles. That's pretty much it. That's all there is to my towing kit. Maybe there's other things in there you think I should have, but I shared the link to as many of these items as I can, so you could perhaps build a kit of your very own if you wish to do so. These are very handy to have. We call them a cat's paw, I think. I think these are the ones that get called a cat's paw. I don't know. But anyhow, that was everything I wanted to show. Not much else to really see. Hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully some of the advice I gave is helpful and keep others safe. And as always, any and all input is greatly appreciated. Have a great day. Be safe out there, and don't be a stranger.